Peace, family, friends, and loved ones out there. I hope everyone's doing great. We are approaching the end of the month of May, and I just wanted to come and check in with you guys before we head into June. And June has way more of a relaxed, calm vibe, so we can look forward to that. But before we can get into that month, let's go ahead and talk about the rest of May and close it out with this topic here. And we're just going to jump right into it, right? So my question to you guys, and a bunch of these statements or questions are asking for answers. So if you can, comment in the comment spot your answer, or hit me with a text or message, inbox, DM, all that would be great, because I just want to get a response back from those that's tapping in. If we're out doing the assignment that we have been assigned, right? And I say assignment because what we're going to talk about is the covenant that we have between ourselves. And I say between ourselves, we have to accept the covenant that we have between our higher selves and all the selves that we have within oneself, right? And as we accept this covenant, we'll take on the assignment that outranks anything that we prefer to do. So if we prefer to do something in our life, this assignment that we have been given will outrank that. And I say outrank that, it holds more weight to anything that you will try to do in life. And so that's why when we feel like we're stuck on a path that causes us to have challenge and struggle because we're doing something that we wouldn't prefer to do, just know that you're only becoming stronger and closer to your higher self. And that was the covenant that you made before entering onto the planet, and now you have to carry that out. And you should do it into your likings and into your favor, but some of us, we start this path off with not a preference of staying on it, right? So some of us will struggle until we fully accept this covenant, right? I said that we'll continue to struggle because deep down inside we know that this assignment has been given to us, but we refuse to start the work. And being that we refuse to start the work, we will not be able to receive any of the goods that we attract. And if we do, it will be a struggle to attain those and hold on to, because of the fact that once you accept your covenant or accept your role on part of the higher team, I say the higher team, but the higher conscious, then you will be allowed to receive the things on the lower rim and the lower levels of life as you continue to take your progress to your higher self. So it's kind of like a reward system, but you're not being rewarded or punished by your spirit or soul when you don't get what you want or you meet a challenge, or if you get what you want, but it's really just a process of continuing on your path. The hidden realities that hide behind titles. There's hidden realities behind titles, and I mean that by, for example, we have a work system that we go into, right? And then down the chain line, you have all these people that have titles. And the reality of it is that everyone is underneath a rank, and according to the rank is according to how you receive your pay, right? At normal jobs in the job system. And the thing about reality and the one that we live in is being like lopsided, right? It's like some receive more than others, some receive less, then some receive none, right? And so in these realities that we live, we see that people use titles and positions to hold special agendas. And I say hold special agendas, but hold things in a place to where the system is working in their favor and not others. And they do it to make it look like it's working in all favors. And so that's something that will be revealed more on your path when you accept your covenant, when you accept your relationship with yourself, because then those hidden realities will not only surface, but you'll be able to see that you can separate yourself away from the titles and the positions of others or yourself. Or, you might have a title or position in life where it doesn't really match the path or direction you're going. So sometimes you might have to give that position up, right? Or give up that title. It's better to respect your struggle than deny it, right? It's better to accept your struggle than to deny it. And that's just being present in the present moment and accepting it, and knowing that your vibration might not be on the level that you would like it on, but you're going to do everything to start from that point to change that vibration, right? And so, for instance, for me, when I realized that I'm having a hard time with manifesting and bringing forth my ideas, I then accepted that it's not the time for me to work on that idea or receive current information or current energy to move forward with that idea. So I then realized that there's something else in the present moment that'll allow me to take steps towards that progression, but it might not be the exact step that I want. It might be some going over my notes or going over small steps to make sure it was done correctly, so I could then begin to focus on my next move. When the time arrives, I can make it with confidence and with focus, right? So it's all about knowing when to accept when things are not going in your favor, so you could start at that point to make a way or a change of direction for it to go the way that you're planning or seeing it to go, right? So just accepting your struggles before denying them, because if you deny your struggles, like a lot of us do, then you get behind in the pack, or you get behind yourself, and then you start tripping over yourself, and then you ask yourself, well, why can't I get this, or why doesn't go that way, or why, just things are not working in your favor? Because you are in your own self way. You're in your own way of yourself, current, present self, and you'll continue to get in your own way just because the struggles that you are facing, you have chose to not start at that point, and you're trying to skip past that point. There's a lot of examples that I could use about we as a people trying to have things instantly and skipping over all the steps that it takes to receive what we're asking for. We just want it to automatically happen in ways that it's not possible if you're respecting and being accountable and allowing others to be themselves without force. And I say without force because there's times where people force the issue so that they can change the outcome, which trespasses many people and put many people in a situation where it's not only discomfort, but it also can be it could also be putting people in positions to where they're not able to move forward on their path because they're waiting and relying on you, and your intentions are to get what you want and continue to move on without helping others. And a lot of us, we can't We can't keep doing that. We have to be accountable. We have to recognize that there's others people that's involved, and we want the best for all, right? Nothing stays in the way but yourself. So I was just mentioning that, we find a way to get in our own self's way, and we find a way to self-sabotage our progress. And the only way to get out of that is to realign thyself. When I say realign thyself, is meaning to accept where you are in the present moment and then move forward from that moment, making the right decisions for your higher self. Your higher self. And in the present moments, when you make decisions for your higher self, then you're in a healing moment. And the healing moment allows you to feel that you're making the right decision. Not mentally, you say, hey, I thought it out and I made the right decision. No, this is a feeling. This is something that you will feel that you have made. And that feeling helps you get out of your own way, right? It helps you get back ahead of yourself and on the path that's going to lead you to your light, lead you to your destination, lead you to your community and group of people that you will be working with and being held accountable for, right? These are the things that we have to understand, that if we want to make progress, we have to check ourselves. It's mostly checking yourself to keep yourself on the path that you want to go and to keep you out of harm's way. So, yes, definitely realign thyself through the breath in the present moment to accept your struggles. And once you can accept your struggles and stop denying those, then you'll be able to move forward through the breath with a plan of action that'll allow you to get out your own self way. And that's what you want to do. You want to stop tripping yourself up and setting yourself up for failures and delays, right? Let's see. There's some other things I wanted to say. People on this path, people on this path don't really choose it. It's something that you're born into when you're on this path, right? And so when you're born on a path where you have to carry out the assignment, it's something that you know from a very young age, in a very early stage in life. But as you move through life, you learn how to use this path as not only your sense of direction and your purpose, but it also becomes your interaction, right? It also becomes how you network with people, how you show people your value and your worth, and how you show people their value and worth. So when you get on the right path of life, you fall into the role of the collective, and the collective knows exactly what you're here to do, and it puts you in position to do it. So you're always in a winning position, right? In a winning position, it really doesn't carry a title. It just carries the results of you getting what you want in a timely manner. And that's the main thing. That's the main thing you want to get, is what you want in a timely manner. And that's what we're able to do. So the more we focus on not holding on to a position or a title just to receive something, or just to get the upper hand over something, we really just need to take the winning position that our spirit and soul puts us in, right? And so we might not chose this path, but we're on it. So we have to do the work. We have to continue on with the assignment. And the more you get into your assignment and focus, the more you're gonna feel the uplifting energy that carries you over your challenges and humps in life, right? Not only does it do that, it gives you exactly what you need to move forward, and hopefully all the possessions that you desire, right? Because you got to stay focused on the present moment being the game changer, being the position and title that you want to be in the present moment. That's the title and position you want to hold at all times, because that's where the power, your power, will be expressed and will affect your realities and those those realities around you, right? So this is key science about yourself, that when you do tap in,
about 10 miles, turn
see that, then you'll know, right? So you should let your frustrations, when you realize that you're frustrated, you should let that energy realign yourself. And I say realign yourself because when you are feeling that energy of frustration, it is because you haven't taken the position to allow yourself to let things pass by, or for you to remove those things off your path, right? And as you relax and breathe, you will get a sense of what you need to do to let that frustration move outside of you. And then that's where, when you're making that decision, is where the realignment happens. And the realignment allows you to take that frustration as a building point, as a starting point, but energy to build with from that point. You know, have you noticed when you get frustrated with something, you get it done much faster when you take action? And that's because the energy of the frustration is helping you get rid of or get something done that was taking longer than you expected, or had some resistance behind it. But now that it was removed, you're easily able to get what you want and to allow that energy to remove what you want. When you are frustrated, you know, we have to understand these emotions are energies and can help us get what we want, or help us, or help our higher selves, instead of attacking our higher selves, right? Or attacking ourselves. So yes, when you're frustrated, use that energy to realign yourself and help you change your direction and action, so you move forward without any resistance, right? You don't want any resistance. Let's see. There's a couple more things that I was going to go over with you. But before I go over these last few things, I definitely want to give a shout out and appreciation to all the graduates, right? We have graduates from college, we have graduates from high school, we have graduates from middle school, all the way down to elementary. Big shout out.
turn right.
There's a lot of focus in our youth, and we have to recognize that they're making the right decisions and they're doing all the right things that we expect them to do to become better individuals for the collective, and then on, not only for the collective,
About 8 miles,
but for their life
right
as
onto
well,
Walnut
right?
Grove Bridge Road.
And so, giving big shout outs to all the high school graduates, to the college graduates. You know, you have a future ahead that's not only bright, but I feel that our young generation is focused. They have a purpose and a direction, and we're going to be able to support them and help them get that and get to where they're going. And then not only that, but we'll also witness ourselves being a part of their greatness. So that's a big shout out to all the parents and family that supported each individual that graduated this year and that's going to graduate next year, right? The family support is very important to someone completing their goals and their mission. So all the graduates, shout out to you guys, but make sure you shout out your support team, your family, your friends, your partners that allowed you and helped you, you know, complete this mission and goal that you were on, right? So that was something that I wanted to say before I finished off today's video, that, you know, we are proud of you guys and we are supporting you guys, right? Now let's get right back to these last few topics. Is don't get stuck in a reality rather than realizing who you are and who you're not. So don't get stuck into a reality because you think you're someone that you're not. And how does that happen, right? And it goes back to like position, titles of that sort, ego. You know, you attaching to something in the present moment that's not you will make you feel stuck in realities or stuck in a position where you can't get out of, right? And that's because the realignment that you have to take will also do some redefining of who you are and what you're not, right? So make sure you're not holding on to false identities about yourself, because your reality will stay in an illusion because you're not meeting the present moment of your vibration, right? Your present moment vibration won't allow you to be something that you're not. And that's where we have to focus on who we are and expressing that. So in the present moment, it aligns us with where we're going, how we're moving, and the people that we will be involved with, right? We just can't get stuck in a reality where things are not working our way, people are not helping us out. We just have challenges. We have problems, challenges, one after another. That's not what's going to get you moving out of that space. It's going to be able to realize that that's not you and that's not who you are, and you're going to start making actions and taking plans that will get you to your present position in the present moment, so you'll understand who you are and what you're accomplishing in that present moment, right? And we'll close this one out with, you have to choose your life. You have to choose to live your life in the present moment and not become the version that you was once before. And that's just what we was talking about. So by choosing yourself, or your higher self, or your present self, you are now in the present moment, and you're not going to become the old version that you were unless you choose that. You know, once you get out of your past thoughts or those past things that happened of who you were and get into the present moment of who you are, you'll see the difference. And if you can't see the difference, it's because you're holding on to old beliefs and old identities, which you have to identify with every day. Is that still the same old me? And it's not, because your energy and your vibration is telling you something different. But you're trying to go back to your comfort or go back to your fears and allow them to hide who you truly are in this present moment. So now you don't have to be addressed with the current energy of you being accountable. We all are accountable for the present moment and how we give on to our realities and on to others. And when we fall short, then we start to feel a certain way. And when we start to feel a certain way, then we start to attack ourselves. And that's where we're trying to stop. We're trying to accept the covenant of ourselves and remain on the path and do the work and the assignment. And I know you guys are all built for it, or you wouldn't be on this live or on this video taking in the energy so you can get forward and move forward with it in your life. And with that said, Rafiki Ungu, I hope everyone have a great day. Today is one of the last days of the month of May, so just make sure you're getting ready to leave May's energy in the past, or not in the, don't bring it into these next days that we're gonna have strong days leading us into June. And from there, we'll talk about more of what June energy has for us, because there's a much different energy in June than it was in May. So we'll realign ourselves with that. And with that said, have a happy, productive day. Rafiki Ungu, family, friends, and loved ones. Ashe.